as well.
I think we are good my end now because I haven't put out a video today. There's no lead in,
Lead
there's
in,
no
yeah,
flow, so it's just kind of hang around until people get here. I suppose we can
yeah,
keep talking because people are going to watch the video on YouTube afterwards. The videos on YouTube are actually doing remarkably well.
they are. They're doing very well
Yeah,
actually.
people are catching up, watching. Hopefully, it's easy afternoon listening, or someone's maybe
Yeah,
meant to be working and they've got us playing in the background instead.
exactly. Something I actually want to do that someone recommended in my Discord. Start doing custom thumbnails for the topics for the
Oh, definitely.
podcast.
Yeah, definitely. Take a bit more effort, but I'm sure we can make that
I
work.
mean, I'm happy to put them together.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, if you've got time to
If
do
you
it,
can get
definitely.
if you can get like a layered template,
Yeah,
I can turn into a PSD. I can
definitely.
just do all those.
Yeah, I mean, I can
No
send you
problem.
the stuff that I use for the. Cause I use GIMP to do all the image manipulation. I've always used free programs,
Yeah,
easy to Google programs to make stuff work. But yeah, I've always just used GIMP.
yeah. Oh, I've got a topic for today that we'll get into when a few more people have joined in.
Excellent, because I've got a couple of things that I want to ask you about. Mostly the tweet that I tagged you in, that Kira TV then pretty much
Oh,
covered
mate,
extensively.
I have not watched the video entirely. I saw the thumbnail of it, and everyone was like, "Don't watch it. I want your reaction to it." I've seen the Unreal Mannequin, the Please Activate Windows. I already know that that's going to be phenomenal.
Yeah, it's dumb. It's just
Yeah.
utterly dumb. Gotta go. Good evening to you. In fact, good evening to everyone on Twitch. Hope you guys are having a lovely time. We're going to get into it slowly and talk about it. Do you want to know what I've been doing today, Cal? You've never played
Go on.
Magic the Gathering, have you? The card game.
I haven't. No.
Okay. Well, I play a lot of Magic the Gathering. I've got a lot of cards, and there's kind of a ritual that every Magic the Gathering player goes through, and I'm sure you'll be able to find parallels to organising
Yeah.
stuff in your own life. When you've got hundreds or thousands of Magic cards, what you need to do every now and again is take a day, sit down, and you organise them. All of them.
Yeah.
You get a system, you put them in boxes, you put them in shelves, and you line them up, and you work out where they're going to be, so it's totally organised. And what you
Yeah,
then do,
that's exactly what I have.
and what you then do, and this is very important, 6 months later, you completely forget how you organise them.
Yeah.
So you
You
look at
put
them.
them in a safe order, but
Yeah.
it's too much for
Yeah,
safe
when
order.
when you were organising them, made total sense, complete
Don't
sense.
cry.
That's what it is. See, that's what
No,
it is.
yeah, it's just a dump of cards.
Yeah, and then because you organise them, and then you come back to them 6 months later, and you look at the organisation, you think, "What on earth was I doing? What
You don't know if you
clown?"
did numerical, rarity,
Exactly.
colour.
Who
You got no
organised
idea.
this? So then you have to go and make a whole new system up. So I've spent today making a new organisation system for the Magic cards, and hopefully by 6 months' time from now, I'll look at it and it'll again not make sense. I have to go through and
Edge
redo
of
it
interest, what is
again.
your system? What is your system this time?
So I've broken it up into the 5 main colours.
Mm-hmm.
And then within each colour, I've broken it down into card type. So creature, instance, sorcery,
Traps,
land,
whatever.
yeah, stuff
Yeah.
like that. So if I think, right, I need a blue sorcery spell, I should be able to go to the blue box and then go to the sorcery section and then just cycle through those.
Makes sense.
It does, and I'm hoping that this is the system that I'll be able to come back to in 6 months' time, and it will still work.
See,
That's
Josh,
how it
if they
should
were
be.
all NFTs, you could just search it.
Oh man, if I could only. The problem is if they were all NFTs, then everyone else would also own my cards, and they'd be able to just reprint them off, and
Just
someone
right-click your
they'd
cards,
right-click
yeah.
save it. That's what they would do. Did you see there was actually a BBC article earlier today that one of the Bored Ape NFTs sold for $3,000 instead of $300,000? Someone forgot to add the two zeros onto the end.
This really shows the level of intellect of the people who are investing in these.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, people still don't get that you don't own the picture. You own the rights to say you own the picture, but not
Yeah.
the picture. There's a disconnect there. It's a
And
weird.
the best part is, if you were to do that on OpenSea, list your NFT for that price, OpenSea will say to you, you're posting below the floor price. Are you sure you want to do this? So you've got to be some level of stupid to manage to do that.
Yeah, it is an odd thing. So yes, that's what I've been doing. I've been taking December off because we've been, pumping videos out left, right, and centre. But I thought, and this is exactly the opposite of what you should do if you're a good YouTuber, because in December the advertising revenue goes way up. You need to be pumping videos out in December. But I thought, no, I've been neglecting friends and family. I've been neglecting my own hobbies. That Indomitus box on the shelf behind me, I've not even got round to finishing and painting all of that yet, but I want to. So I've been waking up and instead of thinking, oh, I've got to make a video, I've been thinking, what do I want to do today? What hobbies do I
Yeah.
want to follow? And I've been enjoying it. I saw a friend in in Nottingham. I'm going to go and see a friend in Birmingham. I'm going to hopefully pop down to London and hang out with some people. Just generally catch up with some people, you know? That's the plan.
Yeah, that's a good plan.
Yeah,
very good
thanks,
plan.
Man. In January, we'll get back into it. I put a poll out today about whether people want to see me replay the original Tomb Raider or Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver on the Retro channel.
Ooh,
and
I'd like to see you do Tomb Raider.
Tomb Raider is winning so far. Tomb Raider is doing
good?
doing really well. So I hopped onto it earlier for a bit just to test out the emulation, and it's good. It's actually... It surprised me. I was running down the first level of Tomb Raider, and when you get down the corridor, the camera automatically pans up to you and pans to the left and shows you like an opening in the roof. Almost like it's the camera guiding you, oh, go there.
Yeah.
And if you go there, the level carries on. But if you don't go there, if you keep running down the corridor, you find a secret at the end. So within like 5 minutes of gameplay, you already know the game's going to tell you where to go, but don't always follow it first time.
Yeah, it'll tell you where you should go, but you can explore a bit before.
What a brilliant bit of game design.
That's really cool.
5 minutes, and it's already established. You're not going to get too lost, but if you want to find everything, you need to get lost. What a beautiful bit of game design, straight away.
I love games like that. I really love them. I'm trying to think what game I played like that.
Yeah.
I've played quite a few like that, to be honest, but it's always really nice when they do that.
Oh, man, good game design is... You don't realise how good it is until you go back and you try and kind of analyse it and work out what it is. And people always say, oh, you know, this game's good. And then you say to them, why? And you have to sit back and analyse why on earth is it so good? What is it about this exact level that makes this good? And that's what I'm enjoying doing on the second channel. Really enjoying that. Yeah, I'm happy with that. But no, Cal, what have you been up to this week, man?
Well, I have been looking at more shitty NFT projects.
Of course, I mean, as opposed to all of the really good NFT projects that are coming out.
I have found one good one.
You found one good one?
I'm going to make a video on. That seems like a promising use case for NFTs. But, yeah, I covered a shitty NFT project where it was like the Foxiverse, where they were making the Metaverse.
Yeah, I saw your video on that one. You know, lions and apes are out, foxes are in.
Yeah, exactly. Now... After this, the weirdest thing happened. I had 7 emails from 7 different NFT projects. Bearing in mind, I've just shit all over them. Like, they know that they shouldn't be doing that. And then I opened them, and I was reading the emails, and I was actually gobsmacked at what the emails contained.
What do they contain, Cal?
Hey, we know you don't like NFT projects, but if we pay you £2,000 to just shit on our project, will you do it? They don't even want good publicity anymore. Nobody will take them up on the offers.
They just want publicity.
They just want publicity, yeah.
And they've realised that paying you for publicity is probably going to bring dividends back because it's eyes on the project.
Yeah, 3 of the 7 emails I got from different companies were all along that line of, we will pay you to just shit on the project.
Good evening to everyone joining us on Twitch, by the way. Hopefully you guys are having a nice time. I can see when someone's a new chatter. We have a lot of new people over here. Hopefully, people are joining you over as well there, Cal. But yeah,
so they're flooding in.
Good. For anyone new to the channel, myself and Cal talk about gaming, NFTs, crypto, MMOs, and then we kind of go off on tangents, don't we, Cal?
We do.
So I think that your experience of having companies contact you almost desperate for any kind of advertising, not desperate from you particularly, but desperate from literally anyone. They're like, please advertise us. Because I've got a no end of emails recently from crappy mobile phone games. Hey, can you, we advertise you? And
they don't stop, do they?
They don't.
They just keep emailing day after day. Hey, we reached out yesterday and you didn't get back to us. Because I don't want to.
Exactly. And I've turned around and I've started just responding to a couple of them. You know, they're like, hey, Josh, we love your videos. And I just started replying saying, which video?
And that's exactly what I'm going to do from now on.
People get annoyed at me because people have said to me, oh, it's not, you don't need to treat them like that because they're just, probably minimum wage workers who just have a quota of emailing people. And I get that, but as far as email goes, it's the same as spam. It's the same as, they don't actually watch the creators' videos. All they do is find creators at a certain number of subscribers or a certain number of views per week or per month and then just carpet bomb everyone. That's what they
go by video tags. So they'll just search the keyword NFT or Metaverse, which my last few videos have had those tags because, it's about that. So, and they don't look for context. And this was beautiful. Were you there for the premiere of that video that I put out?
I wasn't, unfortunately.
Josh, you've missed an absolute comedy goldmine.
Oh, what happened?
A woman called Anna, but they're all publicly doxed on their website. They've doxed themselves to try and make themselves more legitimate.
Because I can watch the recap of the preview, which contains the live chat.
Yes,
so if this was live chat, excellent. Okay.
So, bear in mind, I didn't reply to this email from Anna.
Nope.
And so I put this video out, and the title seems promising, right? It seems like I'm making a good video.
Okay.
Well, Anna must have subscribed to me to see if I ever made a video on them. She jumped in the chat and she was like, "Thank you so much, Callum. This has absolutely made the team's night," during the live thing, and everyone was just like, "Uh-oh." But yeah, she was paying no attention to what was actually being said, and then you just see the penny drop, and she's like, "Oh." It was so cringe, so cringy, but funny.
We've got a message in the chat here. Question to any other DMs. I've DM'd a game or two. I've dungeon mastered a D&D game. My players only show up to hang out and catch up. That's all well and good. I feel in a 6-hour session we play for maybe an hour. What should they do? Right, the first thing you do is don't have a 6-hour Dungeons and Dragons session.
Nope.
That's ridiculous. You know? I mean, board games for 6 hours, it's mentally draining. It's doing anything for 6 hours is super mentally draining.
Yeah.
Callum, when you do that 24-hour stream,
yeah,
6 hours in, you're kind of okay. 12 hours in, you think, I'm halfway there, I can do it. 18 hours in seems to be the tipping point for most people. Like 3/4 of the way in. When you hit that 18-hour mark of doing anything, that's when
18-hour mark is where I started laughing at myself for things that I was thinking that weren't funny.
Yeah, that's what happens.
Like a delusion kicked in.
Yeah, that's what happens. You can't do a 6-hour D&D game. Okay, I used to play Magic the Gathering competitively. After about 3 or 4 hours of that, your brain is gone. All right, your brain is melted. If you want
like zombies, aren't they? Just slapping cards on top of the cards.
Exactly. You don't even know what you're doing anymore. You're just playing Uno, as far as that goes.
Yeah, playing Uno pretty much.
Yeah, don't do a 6-hour D&D session. That's a ridiculous amount of time. If you've got 6 hours free, watch the first 2 Lord of the Rings extended editions with a break in between. That's what you should be doing.
Yes.
I can never remember, Cal, have you seen Lord of the Rings or not?
I am a huge fan of Lord of the Rings, yes.
It's Die Hard that you haven't seen. That's the one, isn't it?
It's Die Hard that I haven't seen.
It's Die Hard. I like to bring that up every now and again just to make the chat
pretty much every stream,
angry at you. Cal has not seen one of the greatest Christmas films of all time. He hasn't seen Die Hard. It's a shame. It's a genuine shame.
I thought you were going to say Elf. I watched that the other day.
Oh, no. Elf and, what's the other one? Muppet Christmas Carol. That was always my go-to.
Do you know what? I haven't watched that in about 10 years.
Brilliant film. Genuinely brilliant film. It's a really, really good film.
It is.
So, a couple of days ago, I saw a tweet of a project, and it was the Unreal Engine, I want to say 4 default mannequin running through a big open plain. There was grass texture, but it wasn't like...
It was just a default landscape with some hills.
Yeah, it wasn't like 3D grass texture. It was just flat with the texture on it. And there was a mannequin running forward, and it was something called the Chronicle, the Legacy of Om, or something like that. I forget the name. Yeah,
Legacy of Om, I think it was.
Yeah, that was the one. And they said it's going to be a crypto, it's going to be a metaverse, it's going to be the start of something. And I just thought, Cal's going to have thoughts and opinions on this.
Yeah.
And so I tagged you, and I think Kira TV's already covered it in a video. He has pretty much...
I've seen the tweet, and I was pissing myself.
Yeah, so Kira's got it all covered. But what... It's not hard to buy the Unreal Engine kind of starter set, is it really?
So that template that they were on is a one-click thing. That's your starter project. It literally starts like that. All they've done is dragged in a landscape from the marketplace.
Okay. And
they're just running around on it. That is a 30-second clip that they made.
And that's the start of the metaverse?
Apparently,
gotcha. Oh, speaking of metaverse, and I know it sounds like we're broken records going on about this all the time, but it does actually change very slightly each week. Earth 2 is now definitely a cryptocurrency, isn't it?
No.
They said they were crypto.
Right. Josh, let's just...
Don't do this to me. I get my head wrapped around it.
This is a roller coaster,
and then
right?
it changes.
I actually have something on Earth 2 that I want to reveal here.
Okay, cool. Because I watched your last video.
On.
Your video was phenomenal. The one where you proved that you'd recreated pretty much what they've got in Discord. That was crazy.
Yeah. Well, it goes further than that. So, yes, they are turning it into a crypto. Currently, it is not a crypto.
Right, gotcha.
It's just database stored.
Okay, so what is going to be the cryptocurrency? Can you earn it through playing? Essence.
Yeah, so you know the essence that you currently earn,
stuff that you earn from having
seemingly
tiles.
at random. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not a crypto right now, but they're partnering with Polygon.
Yep.
Which is like a layer 2 Ethereum solution.
Okay.
So low transaction fees or virtually none. Basically, Earth 2 can afford to cover the transaction fees on Polygon.
Gotcha.
They probably won't. You'll pay them yourself. But that's the theory of it. Now, they haven't moved on to blockchain yet. They've just got a partnership.
Okay.
So your essence is still currently database. It's not in a wallet. It's just on a
Gotcha.
database.
Okay.
Now, somebody in my Discord last week discovered an exploit on Earth 2, a massive one.
Oh, interesting, because, I mean, if you could exploit Earth 2, especially if it's money-based, that sounds like it could be quite dangerous.
This is very dangerous in many ways.
Okay.
So, have you heard of cross-site scripting?
I have not. Explain to me what it is as if I am like a basic YouTuber, like a super dumb YouTuber.
Okay, so when you're making a site, it's made with HTML and you can have text boxes in there. Now, in your like account details, you've got a description that you can set for your account.
Gotcha.
Now, that should never, ever be treated as code, just as plain text.
Okay, so the description, what kind of stuff would that say? Give me a basic example of what I would see if I was reading it. Oh, so I could just put, Josh Strife Hayes, YouTuber,
Yep.
Twitch streamer, blah, blah, blah.
Exactly.
I can set it myself.
Yeah, but you can code in there.
Like New World.
Like New World, but worse.
So they haven't... Oh, hang on, because if it's database driven and they haven't sanitized the inputs in a description, how much authority, how much damage, or how much change can you do to the database through putting code into your own description?
Well, here's the thing. Because your description is saved on the database, anywhere it comes up, it will execute that code.
Oh, it would run.
Yes.
So where does it come up? When does your description appear to other people? Is it when they go to your profile?
Whenever someone looks at your profile.
No.
However, it gets worse than that.
Can we make it play Never Gonna Give You Up?
Yep. You essentially could.
Yes.
You can do anything that HTML can in there.
Excellent.
So
we can have a massive sausage appear on the screen if we wanted to.
You actually can, yeah.
Okay, good, brilliant.
But even better, you can brick people's accounts permanently.
Permanently?
Yeah.
How permanently? You're about to say you've done it, haven't you?
I was going to show you. So, by the way, I responsibly disclosed this a week ago to Shane and the others because of how exploitable it is.
Yeah.
The response we got back is, let me think how it was worded. It was something like, yes, we're aware of this. It's not a priority.
See, when someone says that to myself or Cal or Kira or Big Fry or Blazy Peon or anyone, when someone says it's not a priority about a project that we can see it being a priority in, what we do is we do it, and this very quickly makes it a priority. It's like when someone says it's not that bad, and then you show them that it is that bad, and they kind of go, okay, maybe it is quite bad, and then they fix it. But it's never we never break games to the extent of ruining everyone's fun. It's not about ruining the community. It's about highlighting how dangerous something is.
Right. If you flick over to my stream, if you're able to, I've pulled up my screen to show this off, just like a non-malicious way that this is dangerous.
Yeah, sure. Give me a sec. Should be able to load this up now. There we go.
Okay.
Yeah, cool. I can see that.
You ready to see how easy this is?
Callum test email description. I can see you. Yep, hovering over the little green.
You press edit description. Wait, because this one's wild.
All right, cool. So so you're doing the little pointed brackets. That's the start of the thing, isn't it? So
no, that's it.
/script. That's end script.
Well, that's to yeah. So
okay,
that's it. That's all you need to do to brick someone's account. Now watch this. I'm hoping they haven't fixed this yet. Yeah, there you go. And it completely.
Holy hell!
And it gets even better because it doesn't matter if you go off of settings. It bricks the entire site for you.
No!
Because that is stored in memory on every page. And you physically can't do anything. That account is dead forever now. And it pulls back the entire database structure. So...
Phone number,
just
non-email,
flat out
non-referral. Hang on. So if someone had their phone number in that and you went to their account after it bricked, it would show you their phone number?
Well, in theory it would, yeah.
So...
And here's the best part, right? You can literally do anything with HTML in here, and anyone who goes on that page, it will execute it.
Okay, now I know that putting sausages in New World Chat was funny. This is legitimately dangerous because people have put money into Earth 2.
So, something else that someone in my Discord managed to get working and showed me was you can see here where it says... Oh, hang on. Where is it? There's somewhere in here that says, is staff? And it says false.
Holy... No.
I can
see it. It's on the left-hand side, second line. 0 is staff false. Is tier 1 owner. You can just change that to...
You can change that, but anyone who clicks your link will see you as staff. And it gets better, because it works with tile names too. So if you sell a tile plot, you can have it display that it's 1 cent, and they will buy it and get charged £100.
So you can change what people see
you can completely
in the database. And they can go through with a process which ends up taking more money off them than they were aware it was going to take off them.
Yeah, and just to really, you know, polish that off and top it off, you can set say I bought 10.
If you're on my chat
tiles.
right now, go to Callum's stream because he's showing this on screen. Go over to Callum's Twitch and look at this. You can see this. Okay, this is mental.
Yeah. So say I own 10 plots.
Yeah.
I can name each... This is so stupid that this works. I can set the title of each one in order as a line of code, and as it loads the list of tiles, it executes each line of code. How unfathomably stupid is that?
Okay, go through with me the logic in my own head, because I think I'm getting this, but it's so monumentally stupid that I don't think I'm quite understanding how stupid it is. Let's say that I played Earth 2. Let's say that I say the word played very loosely. I'm involved in Earth 2. And I have my account, I have my description, and I have a couple of tiles. I've spent, you know, maybe 50, 60 quid or whatever. I've got my account. And I go to your account page, the one with the /script on it. That would do this to my account. Not your account, but my account.
Yes. Not necessarily permanently until you logged out, because it's it's not your details being loaded up every time.
Right,
however,
gotcha.
Here's where it gets funny, because someone sent me a script which is basically like a worm virus.
Okay.
For this, where you can have... So on my page, I could have some script that when you click it, because you're logged in, it will change your description to the same script that is stored there. So then when someone visits yours, it replicates and replicates and replicates. You can brick the entirety of Earth 2 in minutes.
So we basically... This is like a self-perpetuating... It's not malware, it's more like a worm that only exists on that one specific website. So I go to your description, your page. You have code on your page to do two things. One, change my description to /script, and then run /script. So it changes my description, and then it bricks what I can see. So someone else goes to mine, and it changes their description and bricks what they can see. And then there and there and there and there and there and there.
And do you know all this will take to do?
Okay.
If I set it up in an account and I linked in Earth 2 Discord saying I'm leaving Earth 2, all tiles 1 cent. The barrage of people clicking that.
Everyone will click on it.
And it'll just brick everyone's account.
Okay, so the reason I'm not talking as much or laughing about this is it's never been about us versus Earth 2. myself and Cal focus on the players, the gamers. That's our priority. Yeah. We want, even if we don't like a game or an experience or a product, as long as everyone who's involved in this, as long as the gamers or the players are being treated fairly and honestly and genuinely, I can respect that. I can get behind that. So with New World, it was funny. You know, you could brick someone's play session until they restarted. You could put a sausage in the chat. You could do that kind of stuff. It was dumb and it was stupid stuff. But this is actually dangerous for the players.
Yeah. And there's something really funny about this. So, because of the way this attack works, if Earth 2 have any web interfaces to go and change people's details and change descriptions, it would brick that too. So they will physically have to go into the database file and manually edit the columns.
And all this is because the description box hasn't been sanitized to not allow HTML code to be running.
Exactly, yeah.
How?
So it's madness. In fact, what I will do is I will...
Oh, hang on. If a description can run code, what else in Earth 2 do you have the authority to rename? Can you rename tiles? Can you rename buildings?
I actually have a way, a possible attack to brick the website entirely with this, and it's by using the simplest method.
Okay.
You set your name as script, buy a tile, you're on the list on the homepage of last bought tiles, it bricks the whole thing, because everyone's got scripts.
So if you set your name, your actual player name, as pointed brackets, end script, pointed bracket, you buy a single tile.
Your name shows to everyone.
That is...
It's not a priority, though.
I'm genuinely speechless at this. This is absolutely ridiculous. This is mental. How...
I just can't believe it.
How have we had two major... I say game very loosely with Earth 2. How have we had two major products, both New World and Earth 2, within the last 6 months, who haven't sanitized text inputs in user-controlled text fields?
I've got no idea. Absolutely no idea. Oh, and by the way, you can do things like I could put some script in there to rename my account to Aria Realty.
Okay.
Show myself as staff or a moderator, and people will genuinely think that that account belongs to him.
So the database that holds all of the information is extremely easy to manipulate.
Yeah. Insanely easy.
How do we get this across to them?
I think this will today.
Is this the video? Are you going to release a video on this?
I will release a video, but I think this right here now will hopefully make them realise how stupid this whole thing is. Because I had, after explaining this, I'd gone into the Discord, and you know Nameless, I got in touch with him. I was like, can you get me in touch with developers? There's something, like,
something
extremely
major,
bad.
yeah.
Yeah, and he did. He sent off a huge bug report, filed it to him, came back that it's not a priority.
Okay.
And then there were some people in the voice chat at the time when I'd gone in there.
Yep.
Saying, oh, you're just fear-mongering, it's all you do. It's you know, you only have to click to YouTubers.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, I'm not going to tell you what the bug is to prove that it exists until I've given them a chance to fix it.
Yep.
But they've had a chance to fix it now. And by the way, this fix is literally adding in a tag to basically say, treat this as text. It's a 30-second fix.
But until they do it, it's extremely vulnerable.
Absolutely. And until they do it, you can just brick the site.
I feel really sad for people. Because, again, I don't want Earth 2 necessarily to fail. I want it to become what was promised. But this is... I am not a developer. I would never claim to be. I'm nowhere near smart enough to be a developer. I don't get code. But even I understand that you should not let your users code in your product.
Oh,
that is not something you should do. If you're on the stream right now, I was going to say how stupid is this, but I don't think you can really explain how stupid this is.
You can't put a number on how stupid this is.
Have you, the people that doubted you, have you shown them this bug now, or is this the first time you've shown them?
This is the first time I've publicly shown it.
Right, so everyone now knows this. Because what scared me was when it it crashed the page. You could see the phone number that was linked to it. You could see the email that was linked to it. You could, because obviously you've used a test email, so it's just a throwaway, not important email. But if you crashed someone's account like that, and then you tried to access their account, what information would you then see? That's the question. Would you see their phone number? Would you see their... Because at the minute, it just seems like, because you're on your account...
Yeah, because I'm on my account, it shows this.
Right,
but
gotcha.
with HTML, you could theoretically just forward all the information when they're seeing it to somewhere else.
Right, so not only could you update it so their description changes to end script, you could then have it to show everything that's then created by the end script, the text on the screen, to go to you.
Well, here's one way to do it. Okay. You can very easily have it that I could have a script on my profile, and then when someone clicks it, because their page can see their information, it sets their description as their information. I can go to their profile now and see all their information.
Dude.
And that's just like basic things that you can do with this. Like you can do literally anything with HTML in this.
Is there a limit?
The descriptions are like a 6,000 character limit.
Just
so you could have a whole script in there.
Since someone's just said in the chat, just got here, is this a new world bug? No, this is a bug in Earth 2. So what Callum has discovered is on Earth 2, the program where you spend real money to buy tiles on a grid, you have an account page, and your account page shows, your name, the tiles you own, and it has a load of stuff listed to it. But you can edit your own account description. Unfortunately, the description that you can edit for your own account runs HTML, hypertext markup language. You can code on your account. And if you change your description to /script, pointed bracket, which is literally the HTML for stop running the script, you crash your own account. But when you do that, it changes the text that's shown on the screen to the database information on your account. So phone number equals whatever, email equals whatever, tiles equal whatever. It even said, is this account staff equals false? You could just change that to true. And what Cal's effectively discovered is you can use that end script bug when someone else visits your account. So if he changed his account to end script, and someone else clicked on his account to have a look at what he owns, it would crash their account. And through a use of HTML and through use of coding and stuff, you can then have all the information attached to their account, phone number, email address, staff settings, forwarded to you. Someone just said, so if I understand this, you're saying I could become Aria Realty. Yeah. You could change your name to Aria Realty. You could change what people think they see you own to what he has. You could even change the price that you are listing a tile for to show as a much lower number. But when the process goes through, it would actually be a much higher number because you're not changing the value attached to it. You're changing what they see.
Yeah.
This is a massive security risk.
Yep.
Like, not even care. This isn't even just a broken game. This is just a huge security risk.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I've been trying to get creative with things you could do with this for like the fun, to show it off in a funny way.
Yeah. Can you link to Google Images?
Yeah, to HTML. Link to whatever you want.
Can you link to Google Images of the giant sausage from New World?
Yeah, of course you can.
Let's do that. Just find a way to make it happen. If you can, that is the crossover event I did not know we needed. If we can somehow cross over the giant sausage T1.dds from New World to show up in Earth 2, I'd be happy. I think that'd be great. Let's see if we can make that happen. That is the crossover event of the century right there, ladies and gents.
That would be really funny.
I mean, my story is kind of pale in comparison to that. All I've done is organised some magic cards and tried to paint some more Warhammer. Watched a couple of things. Oh God, Cal, the dinner we had today. I need to just rant about you with this for a second because you know that I've been getting those pre-made boxes of food.
Don't tell me
delivered
this is
and
the vegan.
No, it was okay. So right, that upset me, but this upset me more. For anyone on stream who doesn't know. You can get those kind of boxes that have already made, it's not made meals, but it's all the ingredients to cook a meal for like the next week or so. And you get a big box delivered, and then you've got all your vegetables, all your, like a HelloFresh or a Gusto or something like that. Well, we've cycled through all of them when they're cheap, that kind of stuff. The recipe we just made, Yorkshire pudding pizza.
Oh.
Okay, so follow this. Yorkshire pudding batter. A batter base. When you pour it onto a huge big tray.
Oh, boy.
You bake it for a little bit, it starts to rise a little bit. Goes a little bit crispy on the outside, still a little bit gooey on the inside. You know, proper Yorkshire puddings. You take it out. You've got a tomato base there. Now, the next line isn't just cheese. You have to grate parsnip.
Oh, why parsnip?
I don't
the
know.
Fucking time.
I went with it, Cal. This was on the instructions. I went with it. Grate parsnip. What it then says is put the parsnip in a little kind of cheesecloth or sack and wring out the juice. So I was there standing over my sink, wringing out the parsnip juice, thinking, what has my life come to? Okay. How middle class am I to be squeezing the parsnip juice out of the parsnip?
You need to get some pre-squeezed parsnips, don't you?
It was ridiculous. So then it says, can you please mix like 30 grams of cheese with your 400 grams of parsnips? So I grate in a tiny bit of cheese. And we put that on. And then you put mozzarella on. Then you put a little bit of something else, then some basil on. And then you bake it. And I took it out. And this whole thing took about an hour to make. Okay, because making the Yorkshire pudding base was a bit faffy. And then grating the parsnip took a bloody long time because parsnip's quite hard to grate. Squeezing the juice out took way too long. And then I ate it. It was all right. Like, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't worth an hour of prep time. I feel that someone at like the Gusto or the HelloFresh head office was just looking at a load of ingredients they had left, thinking we've got
Nobody
to make.
bought the vegan parsnip for pigs in blankets. Get it on a pizza.
Yeah, we've got a lot of parsnips. We've got a lot of flour. We've got a lot of sage. You know, what can we make with all of this leftover shit? And someone just went, just make a Yorkshire pudding pizza. And they just applauded him, and that guy now runs the company. That's what I like to think happened.
That's probably what did happen, to be honest. It sounds about right.
Someone in the chat saying parsnips are cheap this month. I bet they are. I bet they are.
Yeah, they probably are, actually.
Yeah, just give them a fucked up pizza. It was terrible. honey roast parsnips are better. There was some honey involved in it. I poured some honey on it. It was quite nice. But no, it was very strange. Watching your Dragon Age stream and suddenly realising you're live. I am indeed live right now. So is Cal. Cal, what are you going to do for December? Do you have any kind of interesting Christmas traditions?
Well, I mean, Christmas Eve, I watch all 3 Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, that is a good Christmas. Why is it? I mean, I'm not complaining about this at all, but a lot of people have the Christmas tradition of rewatching all the Lord of the Rings films. I, for one, am very happy that's become a tradition. But
yeah.
I don't like... Where did it... Someone just said extended or non-extended. Come on, you can answer that question. Obviously, it's the extended editions. You need the extended edition because you need that random 10-minute scene where they're walking through a swamp in the first film, and they've CGI'd in the flies, but they haven't CGI'd them in very well. So it's just 10 minutes of hobbits swatting at something that's clearly not there. That's the important part of the film. Yeah, so... Okay, full Christmas Lord of the Rings. I can get behind that. I think a lot of people in the chat can get behind that as well.
Yeah, what else do I do, really? To be honest, last few years, my work has involved me just working over Christmas, pretty much. So I've not really done much. I usually just had Christmas Eve and Christmas Day off. So that's all I used to fill.
So what about this year? Because, I mean, have you managed to make the YouTube and the Twitch thing like a pretty much a full-time thing now? So you're going to be able to do whatever the hell you want for Christmas?
Yeah, so I can do whatever I want for Christmas. It's great.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm going to do yet.
You know what?
I'm sure we'll find out.
The day is free. I like that. You know what I really hate is, because I used to work retail at Christmas, I worked for Toys R Us at Christmas 3 years in a row.
That was horrible.
It sucked. But I've got friends that work, fast food, and what really irritates me, does Toys R Us still exist? There's like one of them in the world that's somehow open still. But have you ever worked at a job that's open on Christmas Day and a customer has said to you, "Oh, I can't believe they've got you working Christmas"? Because all you want to reply is, "Don't fucking come here then." All right?
It's coming Christmas Day because they got no staff, right?
Okay.
There's like 2 of us
nice
in, and
offer,
it was rammed, absolutely rammed, because it was service station.
Yeah.
So everyone's traveling back and forth on Christmas Day to see family and whatever. So it was rammed. Now, I couldn't go for a break.
Yeah.
Because there were that many people. And because I'm diabetic, obviously I had to have something to eat.
Yeah.
So I sat at the back of the kitchen with like a half empty pan of stuff that we'd finished with over by pot wash, just eating, waiting for an order to come through. And someone reported me to health and safety. And I'm like, what a dick.
It was a dangerous thing you were doing there, Cal.
Yeah. Like, I'm at the back of the kitchen over by pot wash, eating, waiting to take their orders because there's no one else to do it.
I will say, as someone who has worked in customer service for a long time, customers are the worst. You know, you want to be a good customer? Turn up, buy something, leave.
Yeah.
That's it. Just make it as efficient as you possibly can. That's what you want to do if you're in retail. If you're a customer for like another kind of company, a company that maybe provides a service, ask for what you are entitled to, get what you're entitled to, go away.
Yeah.
That's literally it. You don't need to do anything. It's not complicated. It's not a difficult interaction just to be simple, efficient, and polite. That's what I tend to find. And I try to be as simple as I can and as easy as I can when I'm, being a customer to anyone. If I'm in a queue to buy something, when I get to the front of the queue, ask what I want, say please. Take it, say thank you, go. Don't stand and have a chat. Don't ask how, don't take up 10 minutes. Don't start complaining. Don't start laughing. Don't make the same joke they've heard every time and then leave. Oh, God, did I ever tell you about the guy that I used to work with that said really strange things after customers had left or as they were leaving? God, so when I was working retail, the company I was working for at the time made me train in London, which I thought was great because, if you're going to train to do retail stuff, training in a busy London shopping centre, it's a good try. So I get there, and there's this guy working on the till next to me. He's got a shaved side of his head, blonde hair, kind of gelled straight up, almost like the Jedward quiff.
Jedward.
Yeah, he got the Jedward quiff going on. If you're not familiar, just Google Jedward. And he'd be super happy all the time. And I never forget this. The first 5 minutes of working with him, he served a customer. And the customer turned to left, and this guy said, "Thank you, have an enchanting evening." And I couldn't help but laugh. Who says that? Who says, "Have an enchanting evening"? Wait, have a good day. Have a great day if you're in a good mood. Thanks for coming. See you later. Have a nice time. Have an enchanting evening. How do you even do that? Do you want me to throw glitter in the air while I walk out the shop? Do you want me to skip through a glade on the way back?
I'm really not sure how you'd have an enchanting evening.
Maybe you could watch Lord of the Rings while dressed up as Gandalf, maybe. But apart from that, I don't know. How does one have an enchanting evening? Unless you play Dragon Age and go to the enchantment guy the entire time. But no, that was ridiculous. Yeah, it was very, very strange.
I've never worked with anyone that weird, I don't think.
You've got to work with someone weird.
Oh, no, I think I've only worked with weird people, but none quite that weird.
See,
I can't think off the top of my head of anyone who would be, like, comparable.
I had another job where... Have you ever worked with someone who's really competitive? And, like, there's a one-upper?
God, yeah, actually.
Do you love those one-uppers? Okay? Again, if everyone in the chat, I don't care who you've worked with. I've worked with someone worse, okay? I've worked with a worse one-upper than you have. Get the irony of that statement there. People that always have to one-up you, no matter what you've done, they've done the same thing but more. You say, I went on holiday to, Mallorca. And they're like, I used to live in Mallorca for 8 days a week.
Yeah.
And it's
you've been to Tenerife, they've been to 11 Reef.
Exactly. It's always one more. It's absolutely ridiculous. And I was working this with some reason. This guy had a thing of telling us how many times he'd been shot at. He used to live in London in like a proper dodgy area. And every time I worked with him, every time something went wrong, I'd be like, that's wrong. And he's like, I'll tell you what's wrong. Been shot at. And I'm thinking, no one's denying that. But this is still wrong.
Yeah.
I'm not invalidating your experience. This is wrong as well.
I worked with someone who, not quite on that level, You have
So
one of
weird.
me there. But he
That's
was.
what I was trying to do.
In fact, he was more sly than anything. Like, I'd be over at night, finishing up pot washing that at the restaurant. And he'd be like, dude, just go home. It's cool. I got this. I come in the next day and he's grassed on me saying I've gone home and left him with pot wash. And I'm like, what?
I have a
I was like,
big.
you literally told me to.
I have a big thing about people saying what they mean, because I've got to that point in life now where it's super obvious when someone isn't saying what they genuinely mean.
Yeah, just beating around the bush and being a bit sly.
But I also really can't be asked to correct them, because if
No.
what they're saying right now benefits me, I'll just take it. And I know it's selfish. I'll say to someone like, hey, do you want a hand with that? And they're like, nah, I'm fine. And I know they're not fine. I know they want me to come and help. So I'll always ask once. I'll always check. I'll be like, are you sure? And they're like, nah, it's all good. And I'm thinking, all right, cool. So I'll just sit down, grab a cup of tea, sit there, watch the telly and do nothing else. And they always look at me like, why aren't you helping? I'm like, dude, I asked you twice. Okay? I know you want me to help, but you said no.
So
twice.
tell me. Yeah.
Once someone starts saying no, I just go with it. You know, it's one of those English things where you're meant to constantly keep saying, yeah, you go and do that, it's fine, I've got this. Eventually, you have to just believe that they have got this.
Yeah,
You
I
go
mean, if
and
they're
let
saying they
them do
have,
it. Yeah, you
that's
go
on them.
you go and let them do it. Annoying people who don't have an opinion of their own. Yeah, I'm reading the chat now to see what kind of people have. Oh God, I've suffered more than you, so you're not allowed to suffer, guys. Whenever you complain about anything, they've had it worse
God.
than you, so you can't complain.
That reminds me. Okay, so I used to go into work at that same place, and I went in the once, and I'd been all this month I'd been having like bad stomach cramps, and I didn't know what it was. I think it was something I'd been eating just constantly all month, and every day she'd be like, "Well, I'm on my period, and my pains are worse than that," and I'm like, "You've been on your period for the entire fucking month. Like, when are you not? You say it every day."
You know the best way to deal with those people? I started doing this.
Kick them downstairs.
That's one way. That's the Callum Upton way.
Yeah.
But I find the best way to deal with them is whenever they are happy, tell them that you've been happier so they can't be happy.
That's a good one.
If they're going to say, you can't be sad because my life is worse, just reverse it.
Yeah.
Whenever they come in having a good day, they're like, oh man, this day was great. I'm like, your day sucks. You know why? Because a few
Mine's
years ago,
better.
I had a greater day. Until you are happier than I was back then, your happiness right now is invalid. It doesn't matter. That's what you do. As soon as if you're not allowed to be sad because they had it worse, then they're not allowed to be happy because you have it better. That's how it works. That's how forcing feelings works.
Yeah, I might give. Well, hopefully I'll never have to give that a go.
No, I just keep telling them that, you know, if they say that you can't say one thing, then you say they can't say another. That's how it works.
Yeah.
Use their own medicine against them. That's what you need to do. Favourite
Josh,
band?
when we meet up, I'm going to do that to you.
Yeah, that's what I
Every
do.
time you say to me, like, oh, this German sausage is great, I'll be like, well, I've had a better sausage.
Very poor choice of words there, Cal.
It came out my mouth and I was like,
That's even worse.
oh, Christ. I'm going to shut up now. I've really just dug a hole.
Okay,
Josh, lend me a spade.
there's the clip. Callum is digging. He's digging that hole. Fantastic. It just works. That is. Oh,
Yeah.
It just works. So yes, I've been tidying up my Magic card collection. I've been doing some Warhammer stuff. I've been watching a lot of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, working back through season 1, 2, and 3
Nice.
of that. Enjoying Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Good TV show. Find it very, very funny. What else has been going on in life? It's just been a chilled December. I'll tell you a weird Christmas tradition that me and my partner have. Mm-hmm. So, many years ago, when I moved into the house, you know when you're putting Christmas decorations up, you always have a box in your attic or in your loft or in your basement or wherever, a box that's, you know, older than time, and it's more tape than box, and it's had multiple things written on it, but your Christmas decorations are in there, decorations older than, you know, the mountains, but you get the same tinsel and the same things and the same baubles, and you decorate this. No one ever goes to buy new tinsel. I'm not sure how tinsel gets sold. Everyone just already owns enough.
Yeah.
But you do that.
You just inherit it.
You do. You inherit Christmas decorations. So what happens was, I got the box of Christmas decorations from her family down and started having a look. And looking through another family's Christmas decorations is weird.
It's eye-opening.
It is, because your Christmas decorations are correct. But everyone else's Christmas decorations are weird. That's how it goes.
Yeah.
So I'm looking through, and I find this little see-through acrylic penguin. It's a little tiny kind of plastic penguin made of clear plastic. And you flick the little switch on the base, and there's a little red LED inside, like a red light, and it glows. So I looked at it and I thought, this looks evil, because the red light catches the kind of outlines, the angular outlines of the penguin shape. And I said, is this an evil Christmas penguin? And my partner looked at me and said, it is now. So what I did was I took the evil Christmas penguin and I hid it somewhere for her to find. And then next morning I heard a slight scream, and she'd found the evil Christmas penguin. And she hid it somewhere for me to find. And we just do that. It just goes around the house. And now, I don't know where it is, but I know that I'm going to find it randomly.
It's going to jump out on
you. It
you.
is. I'm going to open like the... it's been everywhere. I've opened the tea bag bowl downstairs, gone to get a tea bag, and just pulled out a penguin. I've put my coat on, put my hands into my pockets. There's a penguin there. It travels around. But now, all of our Christmas gifts are kind of penguin themed. It's very, very strange and very, very weird, but it's very endearing. I quite like it. In fact, last year she got me a huge Christmas card with a penguin on it, and now there's kind of penguins around the place and stuff. It's just very silly, very interesting. Yeah, Elf on the Shelf.
It's nice to have something different. Yeah,
it is. You've got to have that. Elf on the Shelf Penguin Edition. I need a mug with a penguin on it.
I'm sure we can sort that out.
It is. But I think you'll agree with me, Cal, that the best part of any British Christmas is the shit German market in any town or any city. I used to live in a town that had one stall. It was just one wooden shack that sold sausages. It was terrible. How's the German market where you are?
Well, me and two friends went this year, and we misheard something, and because we'd misheard it once, we kept mishearing it.
Okay.
Now, there was a guy doing, like, Christmas karaoke, a German guy.
Okay.
Over the tannoy across the whole German market. It was awful.
Wow. That sounds fantastic as an experience, but terrible as a net. Okay.
And then every hour he'd say, and now it's time for the sounds of Snoop Dogg.
Sounds of Snoop Dogg.
And then he'd proceed to sing things that weren't Snoop Dogg. And we were just so baffled the entire night. And then it finally clicked. He was saying the sounds of Stuttgart, not Snoop Dogg. Which makes sense, because they were all in German and definitely not Snoop Dogg.
The sounds of
the thing is, we
Snoop
all
Dogg.
had realization at the same time. We were looking at each other, and we just looked at each other like...
Imagine if you were drunk and there was some guy shouting the sounds of Snoop Dogg and then just blitzing out some... cracking German Christmas crooners, and you were just there going, I haven't heard this album. I'm just
waiting for Drop It Like It's Hot.
Exactly. I just don't know what this song is.
Yeah.
But fantastic. Also, when you say
it's a good market.
When you say the sounds of Snoop Dogg, I'm also picturing like some ASMR guy just followed Snoop Dogg around with a microphone. Like, not even a song, just his daily ambience.
Yes. You just follow him around, you occasionally get the shit.
Yeah, that's all it is. That's it. It's just every 5 minutes you just hear him lighting up a blunt. That's all that happens for like 6 hours. Oh, man.
Yeah.
You know what? Snoop Dogg, someone pointed it out to me a while ago, and I completely agree with it. Snoop Dogg is a perfect example of someone who has finished the main quest line, who is now just doing all the side quests they've missed.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it is. The dude finished. He's done. And now he's like, I'm going to go on a cooking show. And he goes to do that. And he's like, I'm going to make a film. And he goes to do that. Like, he is the perfect example of you've finished Skyrim, you're the king of everything, you decide to go back and do every small minor side quest you've missed. That's the stage Snoop Dogg is in right now. He's just finishing off all the storylines he couldn't be bothered to do. That's what he was.
That's what I aim for in life.
I would love to do that. To be able to wake up and be like, I'm going to do something dumb today. I'm going to do something random. That is the dream. That is the... did you see his stream? Was it Snoop Dogg that streamed... didn't he stream something, but he left the mic on mute?
Yeah, he was muted for a whole 2-hour stream, and everyone was telling him.
Yeah, he streamed something, but muted himself. God.
Yeah.
I bet he knew.
Oh, no.
I bet he knew. Oh, that is brilliant. He left his stream on for days, didn't he? Yeah. Dwayne Johnson is exactly the same. Dwayne Johnson is a perfect example of someone who has finished the main storyline and is now just doing whatever he wants.
Yeah.
I would love to
pretty
hang
much.
out. Do you know that Dwayne Johnson has a dude that carries around his gym? That's his job. I was reading an interview. Dwayne Johnson has his own private gym, his own private setup of equipment, big proper equipment stuff, huge big bolts. And there is a guy, his entire job is disassemble the gym, put it onto a van, drive to wherever Dwayne Johnson's going to be the next day, and build it again. So every morning, Dwayne Johnson wakes up, does his workout, does his day. And the dude then just builds the gym down, travels, builds it back up. That's his job. My chat are telling me that Dwayne Johnson is in Fortnite right now.
Oh, yeah. Have you seen that?
I've given up trying to work out who is and isn't in Fortnite, to be honest.
It's the metaverse, I'm telling you.
You're not even wrong. That's the scary thing.
No, they call it the metaverse.
Seriously.
Seriously.
Facebook.
I'm pretty sure they do. Chat will have to confirm whether I'm right or wrong there, but I'm pretty sure Epic Games call Fortnite the metaverse.
Facebook have changed their company main name to Meta, haven't they?
Yes.
That's going to upset a couple of people.
Oh, I'm sure it will.
Okay.
Have you heard about my new endeavour that I'm setting out on?
Is it something else fueled by spite?
It's not actually. It's very cool.
Okay, what are you doing?
Do you know what a Fab Lab is?
A Fab Lab? No, I don't. I think I'm too old to know what that is. It sounds like something all the kids are doing these days.
So it's basically like a workshop that has all machinery, CNC, 3D printing, resin printing.
Oh, cool. Okay, so you make a load of stuff.
And people can come in, use the machines, zero cost. But
Sweet.
they either buy material there at a slightly higher price or bring their own.
Oh,
and it's
sweet.
basically
Okay.
like a communal thing, like a maker space.
Okay, cool.
So, me and my friend Zach have been in touch with our local council.
Okay.
And are possibly, this is like 95% confirmed. We're just waiting for it to be transferred and in writing.
Okay.
Getting £1 million budget to build a Fab Lab in my hometown.
That's really cool.
It's incredibly cool.
So there'll be 3D printers. There'll be, big, T-shirt press makers or something.
Yep. Sewing machines, embroidery machines.
Just like a creation station kind of thing going on.
It's exactly what it is. So
Sweet.
It's to bring down the price of manufacturing and stop outsourcing to China.
That's really cool. I would like that. I mean, you're going to have a load of people printing Warhammer 40k models. That's all you're going to have all day.
God, yeah. But
Sweet.
the interesting part is I'm going to be documenting it from empty warehouse through all the building, showing off the machinery we get. We'll hopefully be getting a SLS printer, which is selective laser sintering. So it's like metal powder printing.
Oh, sweet.
You can print engines, exhausts, all sorts of stuff on there. But I want to make videos on individual like new technologies and stuff, lathes.
Yeah.
A lot.
When you think about MMORPGs and they always have like the crafting area. So you're playing a game, you're playing an RPG game, you're in town, you go to the crafting corner, then you've got the maker's bench and the workshop and the blacksmith. You've always got stuff that makes things in that area. It's like that, but for real life.
Yep. I used to work at one in Sweden when I was living there, and they are phenomenal.
That's really cool.
It's incredibly cool. So yeah, I'll be documenting all of that. And in fact, one of my subscribers and patrons has arranged for me to go to his workplace, which is a massive CNC factory.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
And so his manager's gonna give us a tour around with him, show off all the new machines that have come to the CNC space, so that we can plan accordingly on what we want in there.
That sounds really awesome.
Which is going to be really cool. I'm going to see if I can record that tour as well.
Yeah,
it'll be useful for us, but I'm sure it'll be a nice insight to everyone else as well.
Oh, God,
I'll
definitely.
see if I can get permission off them to do that, but
yeah,
it'll be very exciting.
Creation stuff like that is amazing. You know what I've been kind of blitzing through recently on YouTube? You ever watched any wood turning videos where they get something, cover it in resin, and then just slam it into a lathe and just... They're so good to watch.
They're just therapeutic to watch.
They are. The problem is that every time I watch one, I want to buy a lathe, but I know how ridiculously dangerous lathes are. Because it's just
someone nearly killed me with a lathe from the other end of the room. They'd left the chuck in the where you tighten it up.
Oh, did it?
Spun it up to 18,000 RPM, and it got embedded in the wall across the room.
Yeah, that
was straight past my face. I was like, Jesus.
Yeah, I love watching YouTube videos of people using machines really well. Yeah. When you see someone wood turning a lathe or something like how it's made, oh God. I don't know if any of the American viewers have it, but have you ever watched, you ever got slightly drunk or really tired and watched a show like Inside the Factory? Where have you ever seen Inside the Factory?
No, is it like how it's made?
Yeah, it's basically exactly the same as that. But it's got presenters and it's a bit longer and they go a bit more in depth. So the how it's made inside the factory biscuits, and it'll take you from the growing of the grains all the way through to the crushing, the transportation into the thing, the making of it, the wrapping of it, the distribution. You just get to see the process from start to finish about how stuff comes from idea to presenting it. It's presented by some really cool. I love those kind of shows.
It's really eye-opening because you see like the intricate processes to make the simplest of things.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always impressed. I'm always super impressed by the scale of production warehouses. You know, when there's like miles and miles of stuff, rollers,
multiple lines, and
it's absolutely incredible. How it's made, any kind of inside the factory stuff like that, gorgeous things. I would love that kind of stuff. But what am I doing at the minute? I'm going through a lot of horror films. That's it, more horror films.
Okay.
Me and my partner love horror films, so we're just working our way through those on Netflix. I think the problem is that we've seen all of the really good horror films, so now we're just getting to the really shit horror films.
Have you watched VHS?
No, I haven't. It's all right.
Watch VHS. It's a mix of amazing and shit.
Fantastic. I'll give it a go.
Because they've got 6 new film producers to make their first short films, all 6 crammed into one. So they've got 10-minute films.
Oh, okay.
And gotcha. It's like a lost tape thing. So at the start, it starts in an abandoned house. They've got this stack of tapes, and they watch them one by one. So it's 6 completely different. They're all shot on different cameras as well. One's done entirely on GoPro.
Okay.
And so you get to see really different types of films all in one film. It's really good, to be honest.
Gotcha. People are saying, what is a good non-paranormal horror film? So, The Wailing. In fact, you know what? Fuzz just recommended The Wailing. We watched The Wailing last night. It's like 2.5 hours long, but it's definitely worth it. A good non-paranormal horror film, because I like more psychological disturbing films. I like it when you finish watching a film and you aren't happy with it, because you're thinking, that really moved me, that upset me, that changed me. Jacob's Ladder's a good example of it.
Babadook's one of those.
The Babadook is phenomenal, man. I'm very, very much a fan of that. But we're discovering a lot of Korean films, a lot of Spanish horror films, actually. Really good some stuff going on over there. But I want to find some good stuff, I'll let you know. Hereditary. Oh, man, Hereditary was good. But this is the thing. We've seen Hereditary, we've seen the Babadook, we've seen Midsummer, we've seen all the good stuff. Now we're just getting to the crap stuff. People are saying Rec, R-E-C. That's going to be the next one. In fact, that might even be tonight. I might go and watch Rec tonight. That might be the thing. That might be what we need to do.
I need to watch more.
Yeah. So, Cal, with the year closing in to an end.
Yeah.
It's December the 13th already. It's absolutely flying by. It's ridiculously quick. What do you see the next year being like? For your YouTube, for your Twitch, for any kind of project you got going on outside of that? What's the ideal?
Well, I'm hoping to start covering a lot bit, much more wider field of things, such as creative things, such as, like I say, if this goes ahead as planned, I'll be able to cover a lot more technology-based things.
I could see you doing really well with that.
Yeah, for example, we want to get a motherboard CNC machine so that you can make your own motherboard traces and stuff.
Okay.
So we, potentially projects where it's like making a phone from scratch.
Oh, cool!
And stuff like that.
That will be a good YouTube video. I guarantee that'll be a good one.
Yeah, just tons of stuff like that. I just want to branch out a bit more, so I've got more topics to cover that fall in line with what I'm also doing for this project. So
something you may be able to help me with, actually, because a lot of people in the chat are saying YouTube channels, they tend to fall down on rabbit holes. Have you ever watched either Kit Boga or Jim Browning or those scammer payback channels?
I have, yeah. I watch all of them.
I love them. Kit Boga, the absolute spirit animal. The guy is phenomenally entertaining to watch. And for anyone who's unfamiliar with how these guys do it, I, as any rational human being should, hate scammers. You try and trick someone, you try and scam someone, you try and steal from them. It's wrong. Don't do that. So what these guys do is they have like a virtual machine running on their computer. They get the scam email, they get the scam phone call. They let the scammers into their computer, but they're running a virtual machine. They're running totally different. It's totally safe. And they have their own set as bank, don't they? In fact, haven't they got Second Community American Mutual, which is scam bank?
Yeah.
I have no idea how to set any of that up. I don't know how to set a virtual machine up. I don't know how to set a fake website up. I don't know how to set this up. I don't know how to set that up. You'd probably be able to do that, wouldn't you, Cal? You'd probably be able to set up some fake stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely do something like that.
I think if we could do that, if we could set some fake stuff up, I'd be able to put a couple of accents on. I think we'd be able to have a couple of conversations.
That would be quite funny.
You and me could be on the same call at the same time, and we could just. I would happily do that. I would love to do some kind of crossover with any of these scam baiting channels, just to stretch the old acting muscles. I think that'd be a really fun thing to do. The Scamgent Tavern. Oh god.
Oh, brilliant.
No, I think it'd be a fun thing to do. So we'll go that. Have you got any more news on your audio program that faked voices?
I've not touched it, to be honest. Okay. I've stayed away from it a bit because I've been very busy with all the the amount of council meeting kind of stuff we've had to do is crazy.
Yeah.
Just absolutely crazy. So a lot of my spare time's been taken up with that. Yeah. For the Fab Lab, yeah. Okay. It's just been mental, and having to meet up with other people like web designers and that want to try and get in on it, and just chatting to people a lot.
It's a lot of stuff. It's a hell of a lot of stuff. I mean, you're going to keep getting those emails from people who are like, hey, we reached out to you last week, we reached out to you yesterday. Hey, just following up on this. We want to, team up with this. There's a lot of crap you're going to have to deal with.
Oh, God, yes, so much.
That lab is a really cool idea. I love the idea of, making scenery for models, for kind of modelling tabletop battles. You could make custom shapes for anything, really, couldn't you? That's a really cool idea.
When we were in Sweden, one of the things we used it for most is people would come into prototype Kickstarter ideas.
Oh, like, board games who need pieces.
Pre-production,
Yeah, that's a great idea. Because I think a lot of people want a 3D printer, but not a lot of people know how to use them, how they work, how easy they are. So if they can have if they can see how it works and you can talk them through it and show them, because you'd be good with all that kind of technology stuff, they'd be much more likely to then go and buy one after that.
Exactly, and the plan is to have 10 of these big ones.
Yeah.
Like 10 of the small resin ones and, 1 or 2 of the huge ones.
Yeah.
And just have tons of stuff so that lots of people can just help each other out. And it's going to be a good place for, networking as well. If you're starting a Kickstarter for, I don't know, whatever, like you say, a board game, and you're not very technical, you can pair up with someone who is new, who can help design it for you. Yeah. And then it'll probably be the case that we'll take a 5% cut if they want to go through with permanent manufacturing here. Like we can manufacture it for a 5% cut.
Yeah, there's a lot of
stuff like that.
Because have I shown you that I've made a board game?
No.
Do you not know this? A lot of people don't actually see this before. I did not know this.
It's Tavern board game.
I design board games as a bit of a hobby, and I've got one fully made, fully prototyped. Now, I didn't have much money when I was making this when I started, so it's literally a cardboard box that I've cut and moulded and made myself. It's called Void. So what this is all the rules, and then all the bits inside as well. Every single little bit, all this. It's everything was made myself. Different double-sided little things. It's all just cardboard and duct tape, but it all works. I've got all of the kind of cards that you use in the game to play with, and I've got everything. So what this is it's actually a spaceship game based on the film Event Horizon. I don't know if you've seen Event Horizon before, Cam?
I haven't. No, I haven't seen it.
Okay, so what it basically is you start the Event Horizon, for anyone who hasn't seen it, is a horror film set in space. So it's a spaceship called the Event Horizon, and the Event Horizon has a new experimental engine inside it that's meant to be able to make it jump from one point in space to another instantly. And they activate it, and then something goes wrong. So they have to send out a rescue crew to go and kind of find out what the hell's happened. And when the rescue crew boards, it turns out that the ship actually went to hell. And then it went to hell and then appeared back in our universe. And it's massively haunted. And everyone on died and got absolutely ripped apart. It's disgusting. It's brilliant. It's really creepy. So the game is, you put down these hex grids, or these tiles, in any shape you want, and they're all deactivated.
Okay.
And it's all of the players against one player who's playing as the ship. And the players take their turns, and what they have to do is reactivate the rooms in order to get the oxygen back online, to get the rescue beacon working, to get some kind of weapons in case they've been invaded. And then the ship player has a go. And the more rooms the players activate, the more power the ship player gets. Because the players want to activate rooms so they
It
get
makes
the
the ship stronger.
benefits. But the ship player can then start summoning ghosts and evil demons, and he can start opening airlocks to try and suck players out, and he can start fires in there, and he can make people go insane and go mad and fight each other.
It's like Among Us, but the ship is the imposter.
Pretty much, yeah. All the humans on there want to escape, and the ship player wants to kill them. So as a human player, you're thinking, I need some oxygen, because in 3 turns, or everyone's going to, suffocate because we're out of oxygen. So I simply want to turn on the oxygen filters. But I know doing this gives the ship an extra 10 power. And I know the ship is only 5 power away from being able to summon a demon over in the medical bay. And we need to get to the medical bay in 2 turns because someone's had their leg, hurt by this. But then we need to do this. And it's the players all working together to try and survive like 10 turns to escape before the ship is able to send them all mad. And the only thing I haven't got for it is all the plastic pieces. So as soon as you have your...
I was just about to say, have you ever considered kickstarting that?
No, because when I made it, I just had a lot of other stuff going on.
I would actually consider kickstarting that, because that sounds super fun.
I've tested it a couple of times. I've taken it to a couple of board game shops, and I've given them the game and said, play. And the feedback is really positive. People have really enjoyed playing it. And I'm happy with how it's been created.
It sounds like I'd have enjoyed playing it.
Yeah, I genuinely enjoy it, because I love... when you were a kid, did you ever just design games?
All the time.
You ever just sit there?
I used to design my own Pokemon game.
Yeah,
like Pokemon
man.
style games.
That's exactly what I mean. Sit there with sword +1, shield +2 defense.
I actually found one of them out last week when I said I broke the loft door off.
Yeah.
I was up in the loft and I found like this old wooden crate.
Yeah.
Looked haunted. And it had all that in there, the cards and stuff that I'd made, and I was just like, wow, I was shit at drawing.
I've shown you all the D&D stuff that I've got already. I think you find this thing with nerds and anyone that's passionate about something. When they're a kid, they put a load of passion into it. You get a drawing pad, you draw, you create, you make, you write, you do all that kind of stuff. And then as you mature, you kind of stop doing that as much. People say it's childish, people say it's dumb, people say it's silly, people say it's stupid, and you kind of don't do it as much.
No.
And you just kind of let your dream die slowly and gently in the background. But there are a couple of guys who still make games, who still build... I found the cards for a game. Hang on, I'll see if I can get them on the side, because I think I know where they are right now. But I designed another one. Give me 1 second. So I love steampunk. Here we go.
The proper inner nerds coming out there in Josh.
I love steampunk stuff. So I wanted to design a steampunk game that only used cards. So I ended up creating... These are all just paper cutouts for it, but I created an absolute ton of cards.
That's actually really cool. They're quite high quality.
Thanks, man. I just printed them off my printer, but it's kind of how I worked it. And the game is you, as an airship pirate, are fighting another airship pirate. And you've got... I love steampunk wearing a vest. My favourite band is Abney Park, so absolutely into steampunk. So you've got your airship, and it's the guns, the staff, the engine, and then you as a captain. And on your turn, you fire the guns at whatever your opponent's got. You make your staff do their job. You turn the engine on to generate your power for the next turn, and then you pass the turn over to your opponent. And on their turn, they draw a card from the deck. The power that your engine generated last turn is what you can then use to improve your guns, improve your staff, improve your engines, and then fire and then go over to them. So you use the resources that you generated 1 turn before in order to build up your ship on your current turn. So you have to then say to yourself, right, is it worth putting all of my energy into my guns to make them fire better, or is it worth putting all of the energy into the crew to get their support skills, or all the energy into the engines?
Sort of like an RTS.
Pretty
where
much.
You're micromanaging, yeah.
That's exactly what it is. It's micromanaging on your turn and then go to that. So Guns of Icarus, but a board game. Yeah, kind of, pretty much. But I love the idea of a game being simple. Oh my goodness, Cam, thank you very much for the donation. The Birth of Josh Strife Games. I would totally make that as a company. If we could get that as a company, I would do it. Because
I tell you what, when we get this Fab Lab open and running,
yeah,
we'll have to bring you down one of the days that it's like closed or, you know, empty. And we can just mess about and start trying to make the board game like a reality.
Yeah, because
that would be so much fun.
I would love to have a board game that I made, but I want it to be fun.
I
want it to be fun and silly and interesting and ingenious. Because I mean, Settlers of Catan went through years and years and years of slow hype and slow build. I think next year, if you can get this this lab up and running, I'll try and get just one board game out for production.
Yeah.
And I promise, if we do kickstart it, I'll actually deliver. It'll actually
Well, we
happen.
don't know. We don't know yet, Josh. We'll think about it. We
Oh,
might
it'll
deliver.
happen. we might. It'll
might.
be like Dreamworld. We might deliver. We might not.
we might do it 6 months down the line after
knows?
where we just realise,
Yeah. Who knows?
yeah.
I mean, I think. What else did you create when you were a kid? I mean, did you like draw? Because I used to draw castles. I used to draw knights in shining armor. I used to write fantasy books, all that kind of stuff.
I was a little bit more like tech nerdy, so
Yeah.
I'd get like broken remote control cars and that, take the motors out of them, and just try and make different vehicles out of remote control cars. Like I tried to make like an 18-wheeler lorry out of like 6 broken things. That didn't go quite as well as I
So you were quite practical creative. You took stuff that existed in the world and made it into something else. I was very imagination-based creative. I like to think of fantastical worlds or ideas or stories or places around that kind of stuff. Kickstart an NFT MMO. The more you'll get even more invested players if you use the phrase NFT. We should call it like offline NFTs.
I was just going to say that, and what we do is we put a little USB in there with the wallet that has all the NFTs of the things in the box. Oh my god, this is great.
This could work.
Hold up. Right, no, better idea. We start our own trading card game, but it's an NFT trading card game. But you can go to the store and buy it, right? So you buy like your pack of Pokemon cards or whatever we call them.
Yeah.
And you open it and it's just a USB, right?
Yes.
You put that in your PC and you've got all the cards on there from that pool.
Yes. I'm pretty sure Magic the Gathering...
That would show how stupid it is.
You know what? Magic the Gathering actually did that with their deck lists. If you buy a physical deck, or a Pokemon physical deck, you can then go home, you get a code in it, and you get those cards online, so you can then play with them as well.
That was actually really cool. That was incredibly cool.
This is absolutely genius.
And this does show a good use case of NFTs, because those online cards, some of them were actually worth a lot more than the offline ones, because they can't be faked again.
And that is a good use of NFTs. Purchasing something in the real world to then have access to a digital version of it online because it happens to be a game piece. Not purchasing something as random speculation with no game attached to it. That would be the annoying thing. But no, I think if I ever do get back into the building card games and board games things, I will definitely see if I can push Void to become a real thing.
You know
if I can,
I'd love to help you make that into an actual product.
You know what a good idea is? If you're trying to make a board game or a product, do this. When you are designing something, when you're in the making stage, it's all in your head and you know the rules and it makes sense to you. Do this. Finish your prototype and then put it aside for a couple of months. And then go back to it when you have completely forgotten it.
Yeah.
And read the rules that you wrote. And if they make no sense, that's how everyone else is going to feel when they play your game. Yeah, you need to be able to pick up your own game rules and make sense of them when you don't know, when you've forgotten, when you don't understand. That is one of the best ways to prototype and to grind the rules.
And that is why game developers never test their own work.
Yeah.
You always pass it off to another developer on the team to test it.
Give it to someone else.
Who wasn't there when you made it.
Yep.
We do it all the time in Nightmare World and find some ridiculously simple bugs that were overlooked because we didn't think to misuse a feature.
Yeah. Give it to someone else. And then what will happen is, during the game, someone will ask a question. They'll ask a really obvious rules question. But you'll realise that you didn't actually put that specific case in your rules anywhere. So now no one around the table knows. Stephen King will write a novel for several months, shelve it, write a different novel, then go back to the first one, edit it again. You need to occasionally get your own creative process out of your own head. Wasn't it the Greeks that used to debate while drunk and then debate while sober, and only if they agreed on both levels of debate actually agreed to do something?
I think it was them. I remember hearing about this.
That's a great way of debating. I would agree with that.
Yeah,
we should debate.
I just had a random thought, actually. Something I was looking at earlier. You know how, when you're on YouTube and you go down a rabbit hole, it's just not what you'd normally look at?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I was looking at something really cool, and I don't know why I find this so cool. Have you heard of the Assassin's Teapot?
Yes, I saw a video on it.
Oh, we've probably watched the same one.
Yeah, the Steve Mould. Steve Mould did it.
It might have been.
Yeah, and you put your thumb over the different things and your finger. Yeah.
Do you know what? It's stuff like that that I look at and it gives you inspiration for completely random things. So I'll explain it for the people in the chat. So the Assassin's Teapot is a teapot that has 2 chambers inside of it. And they've both got an air hole on the back of the teapot. Now, what would happen is, let's say I've had a dispute with Josh and I want to assassinate him. I'll invite him to a meeting where we're going to have a cup of tea and discuss the dispute, right? I'll just pour out of the mug normally, and it will, it'll pour one liquid out. And then I'll put my finger over the hole on the back to cause a vacuum. And this time when I pour, it pours out to the other chamber. So he gets the poison tea. He watches me drink it, and then, he drinks it as well because it's out the same teapot.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those random things where you look at it and you think, it's so over-engineered, but simple for what it was meant to be.
Google, if you can, Archimedes cup.
Yes, no, it's the Pythagoras cup.
Pythagoras, that's the Archimedes screw is the one that brings the water up.
Yes.
Yeah, Pythagoras cup. Once you fill it up to a certain level, it drains out a hole in the centre, but water pressure and vacuum.
They call it the greedy cup, don't they?
The greedy cup,
yeah.
I love stuff like that. It is so... Doesn't that just show you, because everyone in the chat is saying they got recommended that video as well, doesn't that show you the power of the YouTube algorithm?
Yeah.
Millions of videos uploaded every month. And
but
yet,
you need to think about this, though, as well. The reason all these people are probably being recommended is because me and you most likely watch Kira and each other's videos. We've got the same sort of pool of things. So if that comes up recommended for one of us, it's probably going to come up recommended for everyone else as well that's here.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? The algorithm brings us all together.
You might look at another community and they've never had it recommended, so it's it shows the algorithm works.
But then every now and again, the YouTube algorithm gets drunk and it just recommends a video that's like 10 seconds of something completely random. What was that one that I saw? The 10 seconds of Swedish people pronouncing a word. It was Björn or Bjorn. I'm sure it was that. Bjorn.
They all pronounce it differently all across Sweden.
It was literally just 10 seconds of Swedish people saying Bjorn. And I commented on it saying, why the hell do I even put effort into making videos? Yeah. Because it was just 10 seconds of people just saying different things. And even people in that chat were like, get back to playing MMOs. So it was quite interesting that even then it all gets together. Everything is connected through YouTube. It's weird as hell.
Yeah, in fact, I had that recently when I was watching one of the SpaceX Starlink launches.
Oh yeah.
And I put a super chat in, I think. I can't remember what it was about. And I had like 15 people all just saying, yo, it's Cal. And I'm like, what? Everyone's just here.
It's weird. It is. It's really, really, really weird. Sometimes I get recommended a video of a guy named Josh Strife petting his dog. My dog is downstairs asleep right now, which is actually, to be fair, where I should be, seeing as it is nearly 9 o'clock, and I've got to go and tidy up from dinner. Cal, thank you very much for taking the time to chat again. It's always lovely to catch up. I know that we're both super busy with Christmas and stuff.
Oh, yes.
The problem is that sometimes over the week, we don't even get a chance to do that much during the week.
No.
It's just, edit videos and run. I mean, I'm going to be tidying up and working on the magic system and making some more Warhammer stuff, and I'm going to have a look into that board game. And when you get that lab set up,
definitely,
I want us to work
100%.
on that. That'll be a good thing to do.
That will be awesome.
But ladies and gents, thank you very much for joining us today. It's been lovely to have you here. I do enjoy these chats. I'm going to continue playing on the regular streams. I'll be playing Dragon Age some more. Cal, what game are you playing right now on the regular streams?
So, I've actually started playing Dreamworld on the Tuesday streams after Dreamworld. So I have to say this, right? A lot of people are going to call me a turncoat or whatever.
Mate, the redemption arc is here.
The redemption arc is here. So they have started to fix things that have been broken since the beginning. File size dropped from 18 gigs to 6 and still has all the stuff in it.
Good.
They have done something that has like exponentially improved performance. I can play it for 3 hours now, no crash, no lag.
Good.
It's just playable. There's still things that need fixing, don't get me wrong, but they're actively working on it. And this week, they've got the first update that is the biggest step towards what they're actually claiming they're going to make, right? So as we know, it was like a small tile that you could walk around on of Earth.
Okay.
Now, it's 700 by 700 kilometers squared, procedurally generated, with biomes, with different terrains in all of them, and generated caves.
See, you hated, and I hated Dreamworld, simply because they didn't provide what they promised. And now, if they start to slowly switch and provide what they're actually promising, we can't necessarily hate that. You can't be angry at someone improving.
Yeah, and one thing that I saw a lot of comments about, and it's always a straw man argument. They're like, but what about all the lies they told at the beginning? And I said, yeah, they did that.
Yep.
We're angry at them for doing that, but they can't undo a lie that they told. Now it's about fixing the game and getting the players what they paid for.
One thing that really irritates me, man, it irritates me so much. Someone will say you should improve, and so you improve, and then the same person says, yeah, well, remember this, and then they point to something else. If you want someone to do better, and they do better, you cannot then go and continuously remind them of worse things they've done. I'm not saying forget that. That's still very important and will be dealt with, but
it was still shitty what they did.
Yeah, you need to praise improvement when it happens, because if you don't praise improvement when it happens, it won't keep happening.
Exactly, and that's the entire point of me continuing these videos, because a few people have said, well, now that they're fixing things and they're not breaking things, why are you still covering it? I said, because it would be very sly of me to only report when they fuck up.
You need to report the positives as well. That's impartial and that's fair. Report the positives as well. That's the important thing.
Yeah, but so we've been having fun on the Tuesday streams with that. It's been an absolute blast. There's still bugs which make it hilarious.
Oh, God, yeah.
But other than that, it's been Halo and all the other streams.
So if you guys fancy some Halo Infinite and a little bit of Dream World, Callum's streams are definitely the place to be. Right, I'm going to go and grab a cup of tea, possibly a drink of Bailey's, and try and watch a horror film. Cal, thank you very much for taking the time to chat to me. Everyone in the chat, thank you for joining us as well.
Yeah, thank you, chat, and thank you, Sora, for the 5 gifted subs. I missed that earlier because I was on a ramble.
Oh, very kind of you. Right.